Dodge Brothers has been going for I think about 20 years. Mike and Mark were doing this before I met them, the guy called Pete. So I went to see Mark and Mike play, and obviously they were great, but they knew nothing about PAs or sound or microphones, and that's my background. So I was their engineer first, making them sound a little better. And then what happened is we went into the studio, they needed an acoustic guitar on a song, so they said, Ali, why don't you play, you play guitar? So I played on a few tracks on that album, and actually Al played the drums on that album on a couple of tracks as well. That's the first album that we have now deleted, because it's not really the real proper Dodge Brothers setup as you know today. I just played more and more, and it ended up that we had a Elvis, Scotty and Bill lineup, which sounded great. Let Mike do a little bit of something different on the guitar, and then we thought, maybe a bit of washboard, and Al joined, and that's how the four of us got together. We've worked this album very, very different to the Sunset, which we stripped back. We recorded as they did in 1954, and we recorded everything live, no headphones, no overdubs. Because of that, we've done something different for this album. We've sort of given ourselves a bit more leeway. We needed to work out what the two guitars were doing. Once we knew what the two guitars were doing and we had the structure of the song, we went in the studio with the other guys. We played them the song in the studio for the first time. They then thought about it for not very long, and we recorded the basic tracks. So that would be drums or washboard, bass guitar, acoustic guitar and electric guitar. And we used those basic tracks. We would have left it there if it had been the Sunset. What we did this time was take these rough tracks home and then listen to them for a week or so and come up with other ideas. Then we'd come back in the studio and I'd say, right, I've got a guitar part for this. Or Mark would say, I've got a great vocal or a backing vocal, and we'd work like that. So actually, we spent more time in the studio. We've used more channels than we ever have done before. And we've been a bit more loose, I suppose. The most complex tracks was a track that none of us had heard until we were in the studio. Mark came to us with a song and said, look, I've got this idea for a song. And he basically just recorded him singing with an acoustic guitar. And then proceeded to tell us that it's got it's got a bagpipe solo and there should be cannons. And then over the next few days, this track kind of built up into Mark's vision. And, I hate to say it, but he was right. There are 12 channels of bagpipes. We then sent the track off to Henry Priestman, who was in the Yachts and the Christians, and got him to put some organ on there as well, which sounds amazing. He then sent the track back with kettle drum, about 4 organ tracks, penny whistle, crash cymbals as well. We then added some cannons and it kind of finished everything off. You won't believe it, this is the first Dodge Brothers track with 32 channels of instruments. We've really gone to town on it.